you groove the best ever. Your move gets better. Music, 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 music is the answer. Trust me, brother, and trust me, sister, 'cause music is the answer. Now you got my recipe, just tell it to everyone. Sing around that melody, record it on your mobile phone. And I expect for another answer, don't forget to say my name. Entertainment is not free, so better bit, say it again. Music, 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 music is the answer. It makes you groove the best ever. Your move gets better. Music, 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 music is the answer. Trust me, brother, and trust me, sister, 'cause music is the answer. Music, 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 music is the answer. It makes you groove the best ever. Your move gets better. Music, 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 music is the answer. Trust me, brother, and trust me, sister, 'cause music is the answer. Music is the answer. Music is the answer. Music.
We are live, it seems.
Yes.
Stop laughing. Oh no, it's serious now.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I don't see anyway. I don't have the screen yet, but thank you for joining us for this special version of the meetup. It's a version of the end of the year, Christmas time holiday. But we take this opportunity to look at what we did in the last year, all the things that we shipped, and also looking forward to the things that we are preparing, and we will, I guess, unveil some of the things that we're preparing for you in the coming months. So today it's very much product oriented. So we have Renaud and the team of Renaud,
Hello.
the product managers. We have Com here. We have Elena.
Hello.
We don't have Guy.
No,
Yeah, we don't have Guy. Someone is going to talk in his place about
I will take
the page builder. Yes.
guys.
So that's pretty cool. But the first thing I want, so here there are two questions that I would like to start with. The first is, tell us in the chat why you're coming in here. What do you expect from us in the coming hours, so that we focus on what's important for you. So just take your keywords and tell us, like, I'm here to hear about this and that, and we will address it. And we'll prioritize that. And the other thing is, like, let's start with something to warm the keyboard a little bit, right? So what is the topic today? I guess the most relevant one is to talk about the holidays. What are you going to do for the holidays? It has been a long year, right?
Yes.
A lot of things happened. It seemed for me like 5 or 10 years, or I don't know, that's forever.
I feel the same. Like I'm looking forward for it, for the holidays. Like going to the south, getting back. Like, how do you say? Coming back as a teenager, basically. Going home, having my parents preparing food for me, like not doing much than just staying and hanging out. It's gonna be super cool to see the family.
So yeah, you live in the south of France, right?
Yes.
In Toulouse.
That's true. That we didn't say that we are in France here.
You are in France. We are in Paris.
And
so
so
this
yes,
is your plan,
this
going
is
to
my
the
plan.
south of France.
Yeah, not doing much, just enjoying staying with the family and
Sometimes
Yeah.
simple pleasure is the best.
exactly.
Often, actually.
And you
Come,
come.
what are you planning?
So same family, but like family-in-law this time. I
Wow.
will be lucky, I think, because my wife is Colombian, so I'm going to Colombia
Very
to
nice.
spend Christmas and New Year. So very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you know? It's the first time for you, right?
Yeah,
To go
first
to
time,
Colombia.
and probably the first time I will not eat any fondue raclette for
This
for-
is cheese, right?
yeah,
It's
this
famous
is cheese.
in
It's like
France,
famous
in France.
cheesy meal that we all like in France,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Well,
So-
that's very good. I mean, there are a lot of Prismic is very international, but it seems you are also international as a family. My family is international as well. So okay, well that's cool. We have actually two
What do you
Colombian employees as well.
Yeah.
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 Okay. What do I do?
do? Yeah.
Well, it
Because-
seems to be becoming a habit for me every year. By this time, I go to the Alps and I do some snowboarding. I learned how to snowboard like maybe 2 years ago, and I love it. And I guess it's a good moment to go, big mountains. It's humbling seeing the big mountains, big nature, and then going down the mountains with a snowboard with my son. I guess it's going to be good for 1 week.
I remember the first text that you sent me with you sent me a video where you were like snowboarding for the first time, and I was like, wow, there is some progress to do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Not bad though.
It's funny. It's very funny. No, it was. I mean, it's like my rule, and I don't know how many people in the chat they know how to snowboard or they tried it, but for me, already it's like not easy as an experience because you're sliding, right? But it seems that I couldn't go faster than what I can break, like I can stop. And often people will go no matter, and then they fall. I couldn't do that, So I would think myself like I'm so fast in the snowboard, and like there is air and all of that. And then someone took a video and I saw it, and I was like so slow. But I'm learning. I'm much better. Yeah.
Well, that's any sport. Like I remember one time, so I play football every weekend, every Sunday with my friends. And I
Yeah.
remember once, like someone took a drone to actually film us when we were playing. I was like, wow, we are so lame. Like when you play, you're like, oh, it's going so fast. We are very good, and then you see yourself, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, always deceiving when you see yourself. The same in any sport, I guess.
Is it the same on YouTube when you see yourself deceiving?
What is it? If
you see yourself when you see yourself on YouTube after and you look at the meetup, is it deceiving?
No, I mean, it's been long time that I
Yeah.
guess I do, conferences and shows and stuff. I guess I'm fine.
I'm getting.
I don't
used to
do it. I don't
Yeah.
do it a lot. Sometimes, like I see it and it's okay. There is improvement, but it's not as bad as when I look at myself doing badminton. That's worse. Okay, Elena, what you're doing? We didn't introduce Elena.
We'll
actually
introduce
yet.
Elena maybe later. when
Okay, we'll
she-
introduce
yeah.
Elena later.
And we'll ask,
Okay.
what are you doing for Christmas?
Yeah, you will remember that. Well, I see that there are there's someone who's going to Bogota. That's in Colombia, right?
yeah,
That is Carteras.
okay,
It's your wife,
So-
maybe on the chat.
yeah, okay.
No.
So let's meet there.
I know that Andrea is from Bogota. No, she told me several times. I
Is it
guess.
Bogota? No, I'm
Bogota,
not sure.
I guess.
I think it's.
Uh,
I think it's
She's
Medellin.
from Medellin, yes. I think.
Ah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
Yeah.
it's not that.
Like she took any joke possible on.
Yeah, like
Ouais.
what do you bring in your luggage when you come back?
Exactly.
So, okay. So what should we start with?
Maybe with the program. I don't know. Do you have any questions first on our expectations?
Well,
we
not
tackled
yet.
on
I
the
mean,
chat?
hey, people in the chat, please, if you have any specific topic you want to talk about today, you want us to focus on, say it in the chat, and we are going to prioritize. We give you like 10 other seconds or 15 seconds. Please push it in there. Otherwise,
I personally want to talk about the product improvements.
I so much want to talk about that. It seems that the audio is a little bit quiet. Yeah, we'll raise it. Thank
Okay.
you very much, Alex, for bringing it up. So you want to talk about the product? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
We did a few cool things in the past 3 months, and actually we have more to come. And so I'm really happy to discuss this today. And we have the right people on top of it. I don't know, not around the table, but around the virtual table, basically to talk about it. So I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and in the different areas, right? In the
Yep.
on the page builder, on dev
Development
tools,
yeah.
yeah, as well as for agencies and on AI as well.
And on AI.
Yeah. So no questions so far with the chat. So I guess it's your choice what
Okay.
you want to start with. I guess it's anyway. Okay, let's start with the product.
Okay.
How would you go about it?
talk about the page builder quickly, and then like discuss the overall how do you say the overall product strategy, basically, because I think at the end everything that we are doing is actually to build this kind of marketing experience. And so even though we'll talk later during that meetup around about the developer tools improvement, those improvements are just here for one simple thing. It's like creating and bringing productivity to developers, but also some kind of frame so that we ensure that they deliver a superb editing experience for marketing team, because that's our goal at the end. So basically everything is tied up. It's not like two kind of topics that are not related. It's just like our goal is to deliver this page builder, this experience. For that you need to have like the proper set of tools to be able to do so as a developer. And so
there is a vision that we have that a CMS should be simple for everyone, developers and marketing teams. And we think that there is a way to do that. We have a vision on that. And for that, we need to shape every single tool that Prismic provides to get to that experience.
Exactly.
That's what you're explaining, right?
Exactly. And so 2023 was actually the first year where I felt that we could deliver on the two fronts, really, since a long time, on the actual productivity for developer and the proper frame to create a proper experience, but also to release this new page builder that is kind of a big achievement toward that vision, a big milestone that we are going to build on top. We took we took a stance basically of the fact that we wanted not only to do an incremental change in the editor, but actually rebuild it from the ground up so that we can ensure starting now actually a rapid pace of delivery on the page building experience. And that's what we have been doing in the past 6 months. But like if we go back for the whole year, like there is a few milestones actually in 2023 that I think are very important on the two fronts. So
toward that path.
Yeah, exactly.
So just to give a little bit of context here. So we have what Prismic is, it's a place where you there are tools to develop the website, basically. We call it Slice Machine. This is where you build components for your website, and there is the editor, basically, and today we call it the page builder. This is where marketing teams put these components, these slices together to make pages. These are two places. We thought that we want the editor to be drastically better, and we thought like, okay, let's not just add improvements on top, let's reshape the experience.
Exactly.
This is what we decided, right? It's a big step. We wanted to reshape the experience to all the knowledge that we had in the past about CMSs.
And so for that, basically during the year, we've made a few changes that are on the path of that specific vision. So if we take like the big milestones, actually, like starting December 2022 and 2023, we started to introduce the actual first MVP of our editor. Like we started to rebuild a few fields, like the rich text field, like the image field, the select field, and all these kind of fields. That was like the first cornerstone for the new page building experience. And we were like, okay, how can we ensure that we are going to deliver this also to our users so that they can test it and we can get feedback, but without having a page builder that is ready already. And so we started to basically ship an experience that allowed developer to edit mocks and to edit fields inside Slice Machine so that they can start already playing with the new editor and the new fields, provide us feedback so that we can then iterate. And so we started to do that in January 2023, then in February. But in the meantime, we knew that there is going to have the industry will be facing a drastic change in terms of framework. Like Next released a huge change with Next 13 being released and Next 3, and so we wanted to be basically on time for that change because our goal was actually to create the best and the simplest integration with those frameworks in the idea of delivering a very good page builder with the real-time editing and all. And so in April, we released like the support of Next 13, the support on Next 3, by completely revamping the way we've built Slice Machine and allowing us actually to release in June two things that were super important and critical actually for us. One, toward that vision. One, the new page type in Slice Machine, because what we want to deliver with Prismic is not a generic CMS that is like some kind of silver bullet to manage content, to publish content once, and to display it everywhere or anywhere, but just to create a page builder, a way to manage your website. And so for that, we said that pages should live and should exist in Prismic as like a first-class concept in a sense, and that will allow us to shape in the future the best experience to create page with like proper SEO management, proper linking management, and all this kind of stuff. And we released in June actually also the first version of our new page builder.
So give me a second. There's
Yes.
a lot of information here you gave, and I would like to shape it. So Prismic is a headless CMS.
Yes.
We started, 10 years ago?
Yes.
The first headless CMS
Yeah.
out there. We're very happy that there are a lot of solutions now of headless CMS, but this is what we found it. We thought like, okay, CMSs should not care about the framework, but should get things by an API, and then provide the content through an API and have the front end displayed the way they want.
Yes.
That was the foundation. A few years after, we understood that there is a problem. Headless CMS is great, but the editing experience has to be worked on, because headless CMS doesn't promise anything in the experience. We found that a lot of editors, a lot of CMSs will look at fragments of content all around. So you have a page, for instance, you have a lot of fragments all around the CMS if you want to change one page. We understood that this is not okay for us, right? We said like, we want to work on that. That's where you say, we focused on, we want to get a visual experience, a visual simple experience. For that, we said we are deciding to work on websites and only websites.
Exactly.
Every other case, we said no. We had clients who would tell us, hey, we have this app of like complex, whatever it is. So like, cool. And we understand that headless CMS could help with that. Well, not Prismic. We prefer that you go somewhere else, and it's fine, because what we want to focus on is websites and web pages.
Yep.
And now you're talking about the last year, how you went into this kind of strategy of like, we focus on websites, we want to be website native, and we want to bring a visual experience to content editors while being a headless CMS for developers, right?
Summed it up.
Cool. So, and you went through the different steps. You said like, okay, we introduced a few fields, and then fast forward, you got to the release of the page builder.
Exactly. And so here we arrive at like, that was the beginning of the second part of the year, around June, July, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But that's also a big bet for us, because we said, okay, we are not going to just iterate on our existing editor. We need to rethink completely the experience so that it's like super simple, provide a visual editing experience, and renew the complete code base so that we are capable to iterate extremely fast and to ship new feature extremely fast.
Yeah, and that's an important one. I mean, I know that probably we don't have all the time to say all the details that we want to say, but actually we didn't only revamp the editor.
Yeah.
We didn't revamp the editor. We revamped our engineering team and about product team.
Yes.
We worked on building squads. It's the last 2 years, we built real squads. Every squad is specialized in one part of the product and only that. And we built specific teams with, user experience, with
user research, design, product management, engineering, basically.
Design, everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's also part of what we had to revamp to be able to work consistently on a part of the product.
And so it took us time, but it's actually paying off, and the pace of release and the pace of improvement since June, I would say, the first release of the page builder is actually drastic. So
to me, it's impressive, and I hear a lot of users that are starting to notice that pace of release that we always wanted, right? And
exactly.
I'm very happy that we are at that level. And also the release of page builder, there are a lot of users that we connect with in different ways, and they love the experience of the page builder, the visual experience that it gives.
And so this is what we've like the big achievement basically through the year, like being able to recenter our whole product strategy, release that first version of the page builder, in Slice Machine, create the best and simplest integration to actually deliver that page building experience that we are going to show you in a few minutes, with like the most popular technology today to build website on the web, so Next, SvelteKit, and already on the page builder, like while we are still implementing some feature that are still not there in the compared to the old editor, while still solving a lot of feature requests that we had in the past, like relative links, like being able to differentiate the save and publish experience exactly on that way. And so this is something that is going extremely fast at the moment, something that we are extremely proud of also actually. And so if we now look back at the past 3 months on the page building, on the page builder, actually we delivered quite a few things, and all that is meant for one purpose, that is providing this new experience to everyone and accelerate on the overall quality of the experience also. And so
I believe that people want to see visuals, want to see certain things. Do you have that?
So we have that. For context, this is the new page building experience that you might never have seen. So I'm going to just get back to the basic. Basically, here you see our new page builder, and it's extremely simple. It's just about a representation of the website through slices, and we basically wanted to help you create a page the same way as you would create a slide deck, in a sense. So as you can see in the left part of the screen, you have here what we call the table of slice. There is just a that is a simple representation of your page, and that that you can interact with. So let's say that I want to add a new slice to.
So on the left, this is my page.
Yes, that's
but
your
there
page.
are spaces between things.
Yes, exactly. Those are slices. So if I'm willing to add a new slice, like let's say a text with feature slice, this one, I will select it. I will add it. Add an image from my media library. Let's say this one. Add some text that comes with it, and basically I have a real-time rendering of that page now with like the overall a real-time rendering of that page while I'm actually building it. It's also a simplified way to navigate your page, because you don't have to scroll through the page to understand where is your content. You have a visual representation of that page that you can interact with. If you change the title, you'll see that it's changed, so you can actually connect back with
so can you
page.
please can you please scroll to another section and go and edit it, for instance?
I will click on that section, and then I can edit the image. So if I replace this image by let's say this one, the black one, you see just like that you have a real-time editing experience and a way to actually browse your page and navigate to the proper section.
I heard from actually our user research sessions that people are also appreciating this interactivity of the experience, because it seems that people work at one section at a time. Like you don't work on the whole page. You go and say like, okay, now I want to work on the hero, and you spend maybe a few minutes, maybe 30 minutes working on the hero, doing different variations, trying different images. And once you're ready, you say, I like that. Now maybe I want to work on, the testimonials kind of section, exactly. And you focus on that. And the fact that you can focus on one section and work on that, and we see it also with the, features that are requested, that people are liking the experience and they want more of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of requests currently about being able to increase that real-time preview and all these kind of things. I was sure that you'll get to that point.
I didn't say it.
I was sure. I was sure you'll get there. So like I'm anticipating.
Yeah.
But we get this feedback at Art, and we are already thinking about how can we improve this experience.
Yeah, very cool.
We have a whole rebranded rich text field that basically allow you with / command to get faster to your content. All this kind of like, I would say, best in class type of experience related to the way you will edit your content and the way you will structure it. But
it's really cool. I would like just one thing, and we'll do it very quickly. So we have some developers that are watching us now, and I want to tell that, we need to have alignment with our users and our developers, the developers that use Prismic. And if you care about delivering something that is intuitive to your content team, to your marketing team, so that they can build pages on their own. We are aligned. This is what we want to provide. Because jumping into this editor, it will not be about learning a lot. It's like, okay, how can I figure out which is the thing that I have to edit? No, you jump into this, you see your page, you click on the right section, you modify it, and you're done. So that kind of onboarding time is so much shorter, and this is what people love about it, is that you ship it to your content team, and you don't have to teach them anything. They understand it by getting into it because it's visual, and it's structured in a certain way. So that's important, and I believe this comes also from our developers needing this kind of intuitiveness for their content writers.
Yes, for sure, and that's our belief. We think we tested this concept a lot. We actually worked a lot with our users to actually test it and to understand, and like absolutely everyone in the marketing team loves it. Now we had a few friction point actually when we started to release this. For example, to users that like we realized that our communication was maybe not the best, and so people were not understanding that they could get this value actually. But when they realized that this value was available, they were like amazed. Just we needed to improve during the quarter the overall adoption of the live editing experience and visual editing experience, so we iterated on that. But we also played a lot of catch up with the current editor in order to be able to release it with everyone.
Right.
And so that was a big focus of the quarter. For example,
I would say the last 2 quarters, right?
Mainly this one.
Mainly this one.
Yeah.
So basically, we released the page builder with certain set of features, but it wasn't feature complete compared to what we call it today, the legacy editor. Yeah. Okay, so what were the things that were missing?
But typically, what was missing, or what is still missing today, what was missing that we implemented is going to be better, I guess. So we implemented during that quarter this nice calendar icon that you can see here that allows you to actually leverage one of the favorite feature of some of our users in Prismic, that is releases. So we took the time to actually rethink the experience so that you don't have to click 3 times now to publish a document. If you want to publish a document right away, you just click on publish. If you want to schedule something, you click on the calendar. It will ask you if you want to create a new release, to give it a name, to schedule the publication. If you want to add it to an existing release, you can select it right away. So we took also the opportunity to actually simplify this whole experience. We implemented a few rich text features that were not available. Typically, being able to add a link to media in the rich text, it's now supported. Like things like copy to another local, a lot of things actually that were not there when we released the first
relative links. Relative links was one of the things that were very.
But it's new. It's not even something that was supported in the legacy editor, but actually a new feature that you can now support relative links. What's up? I see you laughing.
I will say it.
Tell me.
So Geoff says, I like the new editor too. Okay, that's good. I wish it would take advantage of more screen space and show the slides in multiple columns instead of just one, though.
So
no, but this is happening a lot, and I love it because people, they see the experience, they like the experience, they want more, and this is just a good indication that we're on the right path.
Exactly. The other thing that is funny is that when we released the page builder, we anticipated those requests, and we were like, okay, we know that we'll have to do some kind of, let's say, very short-term follow-up on product improvement, some that we can allow ourselves a bit more like a room to actually think how we want to do it. But like we knew that when we release the page builder, like the first feature that will be requested on the table of slides would be, the 2 first would be, can I see the slides bigger? And can I drag and drop those slices?
Well, the drag and drop you implemented.
We already implemented the drag and drop,
yes.
And so that's something that we haven't showed, by the way. But like if I'm about like to change the ordering of those slices to put the image on top of the text feature, like I can just reorder them and drag and drop so that I can reorganize my page. I don't know if it was in the screen. If not, you tell me. Cool, perfect. So,
but I like this is really good. This is cool. I mean, I we still have a lot of things to develop here. We have a long path to do. But the simplicity when you see this editor and the degree of personalization that you have overlaid, like 100%, you can do whatever you want with it, but the result, the interface is so simple that it's, I guess we're on the good path to have a lot of personalization for the developers and a lot of simplicity on the marketing teams in the same time. And these are very hard to get together, right?
Yes.
Like you have platforms like Squarespace where things are very simple,
Yeah.
but templates are closed. Or you have something like Webflow, which is a lot of customizations, but you're clueless at some point because it's too complex. Or you have something like Headless CMS, which is very good for developers, but then the interface, you don't understand what's happening. And I guess with the concept of slices and this lending some concepts from the slide deck management, I guess we're getting the connecting the two in a good way.
And so now basically what is the goal? The first goal of the team is to deliver that for everyone. Like we wanted to get step by step by releasing slowly and accumulating feedback in order to be able to actually do those follow-ups, do those changes, improve the product. Now we want to confront it to bigger use cases, bigger company, more people, old projects, and so that we accumulate also the feedback and we can iterate. So we started to release a few features that were not supported, like release. That was key to be able to ship it to more people.
Well, releases, locals, you release a lot of things, yeah.
Legacy slice that you can show maybe here, but like today, if you're not using Slice Machine, for example, and you have a project, I saw someone saying we are a pre-pandemic project, let's say, and we want to basically leverage new page builder. What will be the experience? So the overall experience will look like this. You will have your legacy slices, basically, that you will be able to use, reorder, add a slice the same way as you will do with regular slices. You will not have the live editing, the live preview, but you'll be able to anyway use and enjoy the new page building experience and all the new feature that we are about to release in the next quarter for the editor. Meaning, and that's I think a good transition here. What we are going to do before the end of the quarter, so before the end of the year, is actually to be able to support roles. That's the first thing, so that we can again extend the group, the cohort to whom we can open this.
Yeah, a lot of people today, they don't jump. They want the page builder. They cannot jump into it because you don't have the user roles.
Exactly.
They cannot just say, okay, well, guess what, guys, our team, everyone has access to everything. You cannot do that.
Some people do. Some people like it so much that they just forget about the roles. But for the majority of those people, it's actually something that we need to do. So it's in the work, and that's something that we'll do before the end of the year. Now,
actually, Ben Jackson is saying, can't wait to roll this out for our team. Eager for real role permissions and version history, so that I can.
Yes. So those are the items.
To your point.
Yes, those are the items that we are going to work on. But we want to do a good balance for the next quarter between this and actually enhancing the page builder and to go further than what we had in the previous one. So if we talk about the next quarter item, I think one of the most, let's say, expected feature is the fact that we are revamping completely our media library. And this is going to be a huge change. We heard the requests. We accumulated them. We how do you say? Crunch them. We try to understand what were the main priority for you and try to prioritize properly a decent scope. And what comes up often, most of the time, can be summed up in 3 points. One, I want a nice search. That doesn't work. And we'll talk about search after, because I think it's not about only the media library. But I want a nice...
It's the number one.
The number one.
Okay, search.
The second one is about being able to perform a set of actions in media, mainly being able to delete and to clean your media library in a productive way. Today, when you upload images, and I think you saw it maybe when I added the image, you might have a lot of duplicates because actually cleaning your media library is kind of painful. And so people were requesting just simply bulk actions, mainly bulk delete, to be able to clean the library. And that's the second thing. The third thing, and I think it's really important, is also for bigger media library, it's about categorization. And so what we are working on is actually not only to release a new media library with a new search and with bulk deletion, but also on a way to categorize media through tagging, allowing you to actually add tags to an image, but to manage those tags and to be able to now categorize your media in in a more efficient way and in a better way.
And what I want to say here, so already this is great. So these are not something that we will start working on. We are already working on them. So the delivery in the next quarter is, how is the plan going?
So it's
are you on?
We are on track for the next quarter. It's going to be quite a ride though, but it's going to be progressive like we do for any type of feature. We are going to most likely release the new version of the media library with the new search at first. Then we are going to introduce the tagging very likely as a second step, and then the bulk deletion as the last step. But we are going to do those items so that we don't delay too much
value.
Exactly,
right?
We don't delay value.
No, but I love that you put in the team of this kind of progressive enhancement, deliver value every single time, every week, deliver value.
Yes.
But still there is a path. We know where we're getting. It's just like we're getting there in
an incremental way.
Basically. We have on LinkedIn, Nuha shared a link to try actually the page builder. You can try it without signing up or anything. Just click on the link right away. You will land on the page builder and you can experiment with it. No email required basically for that, but mostly on desktop. So we disabled the demo on mobile for now. And there is Jeron is saying we will test this tomorrow. That's great. I guess you'll appreciate it, especially if you care about your marketing team working efficiently and understanding things quickly basically. So you said search and media, and you want to deliver on that with iterations.
Exactly. So media and search. Search for media, but what we want to do is not only search for media, it's also search for document that we are going to drastically improve, and that's something that we are going to work on in the quarter. But that's not.
So Paul is liking the fact that they will be able to remove duplicates in the media library.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, it's relevant for users. It's very important that we work on stuff that is relevant to users.
Exactly. So that's the first big item. Okay. So media library improvement and search improvement. On top of it, there is another item that we are going to work on that is aiming for bigger company. That is what we call team spaces. And so team space.
So before we jump to another thing, I have another question from Jeron. I didn't see it because it didn't update on my, but he's asking about the crop issue. Is the issue solved? I don't know of a crop issue. Do you know if any crop issue that was around? Jeron, if you can please explain a little bit more the issue so that we understand if this is something that we are aware of and if we're going to fix it. Yeah. So you can move to the user roles and we come back to it when we have an explanation. I will tell you whatever I have.
And anyway, in the bug, if I can reassure you, we tackled since the release of the page builder, I would say close to hundreds of bugs. And so we are being very fast and very responsive on those. So please, if you raise it and we have the knowledge about the bug, we'll be very happy to actually take it on and solve it.
Well, one last one, okay?
No,
question,
sure.
because it's still about the page builder before we go to the user roles.
That's why we do this.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that we're having questions. We want to personalize the content. So will the dialogue for selecting images within the page builder also be updated with the search? I don't exactly understand what it means.
Yes.
Do you understand?
I understand.
Can you give me an idea?
Yeah, for sure. I can show you. Look, if you look at my screen today.
Can we put the screen?
We implemented a very minimal version of the library. So if I want to add an image, actually, the media library today doesn't even have a search. And so we will implement a search, and we will implement a fully fledged and a new search. And what you saw on the screen when we were showing the new media library actually is the pop-up that you'll see in the future in your new page builder when you select the image. So in the model, you'll have that search with the tagging and with the actions so
you can search with tags and with different things. And this is when?
Quarter one.
So it's very soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yes.
I will let you in the flow now.
Christmas holidays, a bit of rest for that team and for me. We worked a lot.
I know. It's very cool.
I'm joking.
No, but what I want is to kind of give a clear idea, because some people maybe want to plan to give the page builder for their teams, and allowing them to understand exactly when it's landing. It will allow them for better planning.
And for sure, and that's what we are aiming for. So, media library I want to reiterate because we don't have screens to support that, so I want to say it. Like we are also reworking our full document search and not only the media library to provide a better search experience, and it's key. It's something that a lot of people requested, and so we are already working on that.
Yeah.
And that's something that is also coming.
So search when you're going to look for a page or something else in Prismic. We are completely revamping that, and we started actually working on the document list, re-implementing it
Yes.
in React.
Mhm.
And you're saying there will be a brand new search
Yes.
experience,
Exactly.
completely revamped.
Exactly.
Because there is a question from Ben: is search for documents also coming in Q1?
So
the question is.
I will not commit for Q1. We'll give it a try. We'll try to. It's what we are aiming for. It's just that we are doing way more than actually just implementing a search. We are revamping the whole document list. We are changing our whole architecture, data storage and architecture in the background too.
I know.
So like, it's,
yeah.
I cannot promise it's going to be Q1, but if it's not Q1, it's going to be very
Early.
soon after.
Yes, very soon after. But I know we started already most of the work.
Yes.
Most of the heavy lifting is already started. It's in a good path. It's just putting the UI on top of it, and search is a big experience. It's not only about the technical search which we can implement.
Yes.
It's about the full experience of how, because one of the things that people don't, and we discussed it yesterday,
Yes.
and that's why I would like to bring it, because a lot of people think it's like about how you index it and how search show the results. But if you look deeply and you if you observe it enough, you see that most of your pages share exactly the same vocabulary. If you look at any website, the page they will be talking about their product, their domain, it's the same kind of keyword. So when you write one term, there are many pages that contain that.
Yeah.
Like for instance, if we go to Prismic, you'll see page building, developers, tools, all kind of things. So getting people to find the right item, it's not only about what terms and how quick and precise the search is how also while they type, you show items, you show them in a way that they can recognize, is this a
context.
page, is this something else, is it what I'm looking for? So give them a lot of context, and that maybe also will take time. It's not only the implementation, the technical implementation of the search,
Yeah.
it's how you present it so that they find what they're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And we think that anyway we can get to quick improvements without to revamp to go extremely deep on everything, but like again, iterate, have a first version that improve the first results, then provide more context and all this kind of stuff. But like, this is something that we want to do. This is something that is already being worked on, and that's something that's like, if again,
it's very short term.
Yeah.
It's going to be shipped very short term. And Paul, for that, he says, "May the force be with you guys." I mean, yeah, I think so. There are many items are there. Like honestly, several streams working at the same time on the back end, on the front end. But we are, we have a lot of confidence on the fact that we're going to deliver.
Yes.
You saw a lot of things are coming.
I think the
ahead.
main complexity is actually maybe not the main, but one of the big complexity is actually the fact that we chose and for another topic that we'll discuss, to also revamp our architecture in the background, and we need to migrate everyone, and we actually have like hundreds of thousands of repository and projects that we need to migrate, and so taking on this whole complexity while doing the search so that we index properly those new documents and all,
we can make a whole meetup about the architecture
it's going to be funny.
changes. Like for instance, one of the things that people might not realize is that today you just talked about the legacy slices, and you said, look, you can already have the page builder, but you will see the legacy slices already in the new page builder. Now, something you might not realize is that the data format of the legacy slices is not the format of the new slices.
Yeah.
But we didn't ask you to migrate anything. There is no time where we will ask you, hey, get out all the slices, modify them, and enter them. We do it automatically. And we do it progressively, as in there's so already you get the page builder, everything will work as it was working. That's the first thing. If you think, I like the live preview, I like this live editing experience, I would like to have it, we can migrate one slice.
Yeah.
It will work. You migrate second, it will work, right? And you can go progressively migrate slice by slice. I guess you're going maybe probably to talk about the migration.
We presented it in the past
We presented it in the
quarter, I guess. So if you get back to the product meetup of the past quarter, you'll be able to see that process. We can discuss it maybe here, and we can demo it.
But it's one of the properties of taking a SaaS solution is like you don't have to migrate. We migrate for you, and we give you a very clear path. So about the crop issue, Jeroen is saying, I need to change to the legacy builder for cropping images. That was the issue that he was talking about.
Okay,
it's going to be solved.
So yes, we are going to improve the cropping experience in order to avoid these kind of things. We identified a few items that are causing issue. I guess the main one is to be able to set the width and the height of a specific image to a specific ratio or a specific value, actually, and you cannot do that today. That's in our
in the new edition. Yeah. So you're on it.
We are on it.
You're on a lot of things. So I will let you move forward because here we stopped a lot on this.
Yeah. And so quarter one, one of our big goals is not only to revamp that media library and that search. We want to work on a feature that was also heavily requested by, let's say, company that use Prismic when they were smaller and actually grew their usage with Prismic, like starting to add more people and more content in it, and basically we are looking for a better way to manage their content contribution and the organization of their content, and that feature is what we call team spaces. So what does it do? Maybe Noah, you can put it there. Super cool, thank you. What does it do? It's just team space is a way to do two things. It's a way to organize better your content. As you can see on the screen, on the left part, you'll be able to define new spaces in your repo. In that case, I'm going to do it by heart because I don't see the screen. Documentation space, a main space, a legal space, and a blog space. And for this space, you'll basically be able to organize the content, and when you click on blog, you'll see only the blog post and the blog category and the blog home. If you click on legal, you will see only your legal article. This is made based on your custom types that you'll be able to group into a space. But it's not only about this quick access and this simplification of the organization of your repo, it's also about managing the rights and the roles better in a given workspace. So you'll be able, in that case, for example, in the blog, to set a specific role for a specific user only for that given space. So if Sadek, I want him to only publish content on the blog, but not he should not touch to the legal items because it should be managed by our
homepage or not the homepage.
Should be managed by our legal team. I will create a legal space with only the legal content and set a role for Sadek that will be a read-only role for the legal space, while it will be able to be a publisher for the blog space because I want him to be able to publish this content. And so this is something that we are working on that is going to be available in the higher tiers of our offering, but that's something that we are actually we started and we are on it, and we are very confident on being able to ship that in the first quarter of the year. So that's team space. So I think we talk about media library, search, team space. Now there is a last item that I wanted to talk, I guess, in the page builder that is not only about what we are going to do, but also what we've done that will give you a direction also of the type of feature that we are going to build in the next year. And it's a feature that is called prompt to slice. So Pierre, if you can maybe share my screen.
Before prompt to slice, I have a relevant question. I
love the question. I love the question.
Yeah. So it's Ben who's asking, very relevant question. Will there be an update to address content relationship fields in slice previews?
Yes.
When?
It's supposed to be the first quarter.
Yeah, so in the first quarter. Wow, man, like this is seems Christmas is going to be in the first quarter.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be in an intense quarter for us. It's gonna be an intense quarter. So, for example, one of the features that we wanted to actually deliver in the first quarter that we are thinking about delaying, for example, to be able to do this kind of thing is the support of integration field in the builder for now. Yeah. So we are still a bit, how do you say, shifting the roadmap around to be able to try fit things and to prioritize properly.
But like, okay, preview for content relationships is very important. We want the page builder to be able to preview everything. Yeah. And by the way, Ben, you're saying sorry for all the questions. Well, please fire all the questions, everyone else, because this allows us we can talk about a lot of things. Like there is hundreds of things that we can talk about because we know the product, we know what we're working on. But we need to understand what's important for you, so we address that in priority. So please, any question that comes to your head, please just throw it, and we'll prioritize, write it down.
And we also decided on doing a meetup and not only a presentation that you can look on YouTube. Like it's actually live and you can comment also for this interaction, because we want to tailor-made the content for you. Like, or we would have done just a video and uploaded it.
And we do videos,
Also.
chronicles that we send by email.
So
how about integration fields? Is also in Q1?
No, I
probably
just
not.
said it. Okay, probably not. So we are looking at it again. Like anyway, what we'll do, and as we do, is that we'll update our progress page that I just showed you at the beginning of the meetup.
Yeah,
to
I
tell
guess
you.
have the habit of checking the progress page, because we update it often, and you can see the items that exist there. You have a better understanding there. They can comment on it. Can they send comments on the progress?
You can upvote the feature, say how important the feature is for you, so that it's important for us to do this. If you see an idea that is not there, don't hesitate to submit that idea. We basically use all this feedback to inform our prioritization when we work on the product.
So we're not sure about. So we want to be clear, right? Because you need to understand your timeline and decide for your teams.
Yep.
So that's why we'll not tell you integration field is in Q1. Maybe we'll do our best, but probably will not make it. So for the new page builder, it might not make it, but we'll keep you updated.
Yep.
Look at the /progress and come to the meetups, and we'll tell you how things progress. All right.
So prompt to slice now.
Yes, let's go for it.
Okay. So in the page builder, lately, we did a few experimentation on the background, but we released our first AI-enabled feature in the page builder, and that's a commitment and basically a testimonial of where we are going with the page builder and also Slice Machine around AI, and how we can basically enable marketing and development teams to be more productive thanks to it. We know it's not about generating all the page, or at least the key pages for you, because you need to still have your brand tone and add your human touch on top of the content that is generated. But what we see is different opportunities in different part of the journey, and one of the big one that we saw is the capacity to be able to generate content for the two audiences. To one, for marketing team, have placeholder content and to be able to prepare content very very fast for your pages, but also for developers while developing, not having to type random lorem ipsum and random content, but actually to have proper generated mocks that you can work with. And so
let me just you know your topic very well. You're going a little bit fast, and I will
always. So tell me.
Well, so here we're talking about AI for generating content.
Yes.
You want to focus on it. We want to focus on it, but we want to find the right use cases.
Exactly.
We don't want just throw AI like this and just celebrate. Oh well, Prismic.ai or whatever it is. We want to understand use cases, and you identified 2 use cases
For that specific feature.
for that specific feature. Very cool.
So if we see now if we go now to the screen.
Okay,
Please.
demo. That's good.
Okay.
That's the best.
So I here have a page that is actually about another feature that we introduced, another experiment that we introduced in the past. So it's a fake page about a feature that we call Page Whisperer. We actually decided to stop that experiment and not to ship it. But it's
a very good story, but we'll not have time
Yes.
to talk about it. But very good story of user research, user experience, and innovation.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, maybe you have to write a blog about it.
It would be good.
Yeah.
So I have a page for that feature that actually explain what is the feature and all. And so if I will basically now show you how I can complete that page with prompt to slice. Okay. So
You have an existing page here, and you want to
Yeah.
add something to it.
Exactly. I clicked on the below the arrow button, and maybe below the arrow button is not the right place. I'm going to put it just before the call to action. That is, I'm going to add here. So I click on adding a slice. I see the regular pop-up of adding a slice, but
Sorry, what is the page about?
It's about a new feature called
No, but
Page
the whole
Whisperer.
page is about what?
It's about a new feature.
It's about the new
yes.
feature. What is the new feature?
The Page
the-
Whisperer.
The actual feature that we're demoing here.
That we didn't release the Page Whisperer. but
Okay.
yeah.
So it's a feature that uses AI, and the
Exactly.
page is about that. It's a landing page about that. Okay. And
Exactly.
you want to enhance it. Go ahead, please.
So I have an input here, and I have add a slice with AI, and I'm going to basically prompt here, let's say Prismic AI to create a new slice for me. And
Let's do it.
I have a full page, I have the content, and I have a call to action, and I'm looking for maybe some social proof to deliver and to show the value of that feature. So
Some credibility.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going basically to request a set of testimonial for that page. Well, a set of testimonial, you know what? What is that feature going to do is that it's going to analyze the prompt that was very, very minimal, as you can see here. Okay, like I didn't go into a lot of detail. I could have gone into a lot of details, but like he understands that I'm looking for a testimonial. He analyzed the overall content of the page to understand that I'm trying to basically present a new feature, and is going to understand the purpose of the feature so that then he can enrich the page with the relevant content based on the slides that I have.
I love the little robot, by the way.
So it shows he understood fairly explicit. I said a set of testimonials, so it shows the slides testimonial, and so it actually I don't have the last version. I'm sorry, but like it created the content for that page, so the demo effect. So it created the random content here because I didn't provide enough context and I didn't have the last version. So the last version is actually analyzing the content of the page to create relevant
That's what you
content.
wanted as an effect. Okay.
Yes. And so I'm a bit frustrated here because I think I messed something here by
Yeah, it
maybe
happens.
turning off the feature.
Yeah. So you have a version of this that is context aware, which
Exactly.
will know what the page about. You don't have it here. That's why the content is a bit approximate. Yes.
It's very approximate. But what we do now is that we analyze the content of the page and generate content that is relevant toward the goal of your page, so that you can actually generated content that makes sense in the context of your page.
But wait. Like here, you want to put testimonials.
Mhm.
Like you don't ask an AI for testimonials. You ask clients for testimonials. Why is this useful at all? Like, okay.
Two things. One, as a developer, so I asked for a testimonial. You said, as a developer, the first thing that is very interesting here is that when I'm developing this testimonial component,
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to see how it behaves and how it's shaped by typing like relevant, or at least realistic type of content.
Yeah.
I need to type it like as you can see here,
Yeah,
three times, and so it's a waste of your time almost. to
Yeah, as a
actually create
developer, I
this
want
content.
to test the component, the slides that I'm developing, and I need some proper content. for that.
Exactly.
So this is great for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not for content writers.
What we saw a lot with content writers is actually the fact that, and I start with the most obvious one, and I'm going to start with the less obvious one, or at least maybe the less intuitive one for people that
Mhm.
are not aware about this. But what we saw by doing a lot of research is that content writers, when they touch Prismic, they actually duplicate a lot. They use a lot of boilerplate content to actually analyze how this will look like, how is it going to be structured, test things. And so actually being able to generate boilerplate content to explore your size capability, being able to see how it renders and have a first content that you will basically find and replace after, is something that is in the behavior of our users and in the team that are using the tool. And so that's why we think it's relevant for their use case.
So now that you said it,
Mhm.
when I look at how we produce slides in the
Mhm.
slide deck, we do a lot of copy. Like you say, oh, I like this one, and I will start from there, and you modify it, right?
Yes.
You don't start from scratch. You start for something that you know. So I understand here it gets you some kind of structure.
Get you going.
It gets you going, and then you modify. But can I in the prompt actually, if I have testimonials, imagine,
Mhm.
can I in the prompt say, here are the testimonials, do a slice for that?
No,
I cannot.
I never tried it. So I'm going to say no because I never tried it like that, and maybe we should give it a try.
Yeah, I tried, for instance, for the feature list. You can say, make me
Yes.
a section for these features,
And
1,
you
2, 3.
specify the features.
It does well.
Yes.
Can we specify maybe something that we can look at if you
Yeah,
have
for sure.
testimonials?
And it's funny because you're saying, can we do that? So one of the experiment that we are actually exploring at the moment, and so we might have something in the first quarter, is actually around copy pasting. So if you already have content and you want to be able to, in a way, simplify the process of bringing content from Notion, from Google Doc or whatever into a slice. This is something that we are exploring and experimenting with in Prismic.
Yeah, so you had something already prepared, like a list of testimonials, and you say like push to Prismic this system.
Exactly.
You copy, you paste in Prismic, it makes a section for them, you got them.
Exactly.
So yeah. So a lot of people think when they think of AI, they think, oh, well, it's going to generate a page for me, or it's going to make something that's already done, cooked, done to publish. But it's not about that. There's someone in the chat. Let me see who's it. Gutterbach. How much AI is too much? And I guess it's a good question. You know, we should not think about AI as something that will complete the task or make it from 0 to 100. But it's about something that gets us further so that we apply our quality on top of it or during the process. So for instance, here, I want to write testimonials, and honestly, I don't want to click on 10 times or 20 times on buttons so that I get the sections out there. So generate some testimonials for me. They generate, and then you go and copy maybe the test. Or I copy the testimonials, I throw it to Prismic and say, please, can you put them in the right place for me? And they do it for that. And that's already a lot of help of AI without trying to be too smart. Exactly. And then you judge on the result, you modify it, you do whatever you want with it.
Exactly, and so that's the way we are envisioning it, at least for the two type of activity, developers and marketers, if I can say it like that. It's about providing you an assistant in a sense, and providing you some kind of very extremely smart intern that will do like that will get you like maybe to the 60% or 70%, and then you can add your brand tone of voice, your image, like
your quality basically, your quality on top of it. Cool. Very cool.
I think we exploded the time dedicated to the page builder theme, and so I think it was cool and it was important, and I consider this as a big achievement also for the team, like the release of the page builder for the year. So I think it's good that we took the time to discuss what's coming after, because it's also something that a lot of people are expecting. But in order to deliver a good page building experience, you have to cut these sections. What? You have to cut these sections.
I like the transition. Go ahead.
You have to have this live visual editing experience, and basically we cannot provide that in a sustainable way and in a productive way if we don't have the good development tools. And so that's why also we invest so much into development tools and Slice Machine, and so that's why Com is here to talk about what we've done in the quarter and what we'll continue to ship.
I believe now that there is a page builder, it's much easier to understand and visualize why Slice Machine matters.
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
So it's about Slice Machine now?
Yeah, it's about dev tools and Slice Machine. Yeah. Yes, come.
So Slice Machine. Actually, my team is called Dev Tools because it's not only about Slice Machine as the tool, but a series of tools to... Actually, we're working on the developer journey at Prismic and like overall experience of developing with Prismic. So Dev Tools. During this year, we invested a lot on... Slice Machine is quite new. Like we released Slice Machine in 2022, like public, out of beta. And so invested a lot at the beginning in the foundations of the tools and making sure, and the adoption of the tools, making it like solid, robust, making sure that we didn't have bugs, that it came also with feature parity with the what we call actually the legacy builder. So same kind of approach as with the new page builder, we had to come up with feature parity.
Mm-hmm.
So we worked a lot on that, and actually it proved different things. So good adoption. So now we can be proud of like the fact that we have a tool that is well adopted. We have a good onboarding. We invested a lot on that. Super cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think there is something like people don't. So also this is one of the topics that are very interesting to write about, is that we had a very good concept of Slice Machine. Those who understood it, at some point we saw those who understood it, they love it.
Exactly.
But to understand it, you had to have a lot of faith in us to try, and
you have to be patient.
You have to be patient and fight for it, and sometimes the installation doesn't work, and and you had to fight for it, and then you say, now I get it. This is awesome. but not many people make it to that, and the change between like 2022 and 2023 is huge to that. And we have even analytics. They show how worse Slice Machine was
the beginning.
compared in the beginning compared to the legacy builder, and how it's becoming better than that.
Exactly, and also more solid. Like we had, it's true. Like we had quite a lot of bugs. You know that the public repository of Slice Machine it's open source, so it's public, and so we could see a lot of bugs. Today we have only two bugs open, so we are heavily investing into making it like a very solid product and like sort of bulletproof. So kind of really proud of that, and also not only so solid and proving a good adoption, but also proving efficiency compared to the previous tool that we had, like the legacy builder. I can give a simple number. 2 times. Today we see that Slice Machine helps developers ship websites 2 times faster than if they use the legacy builder. So basically, if you're a developer and you want to ship a website to your clients, it will just take you 2 times
half the time
that you
and this is a number, right?
It's just
this
a
is
number,
just
like
a
simple
number that we
but
see.
it's really cool to see that, and that's also a big reason why developers are actually adopting it.
Well, Ben seems to be one of the people that had faith in us early on to believe in Slice Machine. Well, thank you very much for believing in us, because you gave us also this how to say motivation to continue and energy. Say, okay, we're right here. Let's continue pushing in that direction. And now the numbers show that there is an improvement with Slice Machine, but also it's good in the beginning of the journey now. Yeah.
But the downside of that is that for a long time we invested so a lot into onboarding and adoption, like mostly focused on new users, making sure it's understandable, etc. But we didn't invest that much into helping actual customers and users to accomplish their use cases, and some more advanced use cases and that we see that people have were not covered. And now, during this quarter, we decided to shift our focus and to say, okay, we're good with adoption, we're good with onboarding. Now we can dedicate our team to make sure that you can just build more ambitious websites with us, like bigger websites, more advanced use cases, more complex slices.
Or later in the journey, right? Because the beginning was like, let's get people to build their first page, first slice, and make that very smooth and understandable. Yeah. But what about the second? What about the third, the fourth? What about if I have a website in production already and I want to modify my slices, add more slices? What about that? And now you're focusing on, okay, well, later in the journey, bigger projects, how will we function with that? Yeah.
So we shift during this quarter toward that. And we decided to make a specific focus on the first topic that we believe it's important. Like, we see that when your website gets bigger, your team gets bigger usually, and so you can have also more developers. And we clearly see that with Slice Machine, we don't really cover very well the use case of working together with multiple developers on the same project. So you can have conflicts, simple as that. If you work on the same slice or on the same page type at the same time, currently with Slice Machine, you can have conflicts, and we don't want that. We want to offer the best developer workflow to make sure that like anyone can jump in a project and any team can work together on Slice Machine. So we are working on that. We're opening a beta at the moment and launching a series of initiatives on developer collaboration. So you can see on the screen, for example, a GitHub integration that we want to try. But anyway, I think I don't have to tell a lot about like the details of this initiative, but simple as we want to solve the problem of collaborating between developers on a Slice Machine project, and we are committed to do that during this quarter. So that's one thing.
So let me just give an example on this, and I know that it will make things longer a little bit, but I guess I like examples. Like me and Renaud, we're working on the same page. Imagine it's like case studies page, okay? And I'm adding a slice and you're modifying
And
another
I'm
slice.
adding another one.
Yeah, or modifying. Yeah, so we're working different slices.
Yep.
And then I say, oh, well, I like what I did, and then I push it to Prismic. But in the same time, you were working on something else. Today, when you push, you might override my changes.
Mhm.
So my slice
You might
get
even
lost.
erase your slice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my slice might
Yeah.
get lost because you didn't have it,
Yep.
you didn't get it,
Yeah.
and you pushed yours, and mine disappears.
Exactly.
And I say, oh, what happened here? My slice disappeared. Maybe I will know that it's you. Maybe I will not even know, right? So we want to solve these kind of things.
Exactly.
And that's what you're working on.
Exactly. And the approach, just telling you about the approach. So
Yes.
we believe that to solve this kind of problem, we believe that we have to provide isolated, let's call them environment.
Yeah.
So isolated way to ship your work, like your slice. You said your slice and a Renault slice, in isolated environment, so that you don't conflict. So we believe that when you are in work in progress, just like working on your slice, you don't want to be conflicting with another developer. You just
Yeah.
want to test your work. You're alone. Just want to test and finish your work. And once you're happy about your work, at that moment, you want to merge your work and you want to make it public to the
Yeah,
to the
and
website.
that's a very kind of basic Git workflow,
Exactly,
basically. Like
exactly.
I work, I
Yeah.
preview, I test,
Yeah.
and that's my environment. And I'm not to be able to test. I don't have to push to production or
Okay.
anything like that. I work on my own sandbox, you call it now, right? And then I'm ready. I like it, and the first thing we do in development, as a programmer, I pull whatever is in the actual repo on Git.
Yep.
And then it tells me, well, there you have to solve a few things, and then I solve them, and I say, okay, this is good. Now I can push it, but I push after solving the conflict, right?
Yeah,
And this is what we
exactly.
want to provide. Simple as
Just
that.
simple as like being more aligned with the way developer works together and collaborate together, and making sure that our product is a good match with this workflow.
With their own workflow. We don't
Exactly.
want to change the
Yeah.
workflow. We want to integrate in the
Exactly.
workflow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
Does it mean
So-
that I will have? Okay, can people, if I push something to Git, okay, can people see what I pushed, or how will they be able to preview? Because also this is part of the
Yes.
workflow. A lot of
Yeah.
people today have GitHub actions, and they have preview links on the branches or on the pull requests. Imagine I have a pull request. Will I be able to preview? Anyone uses here pull requests to push their changes into Git on any other?
Yeah, on like to preview your work on Vercel or on Netlify
Yeah.
or something like that.
so yeah, that's the idea. Like
So
you
we'll
have,
get
you have
as
work
far.
in progress,
Cool.
and at some point, yeah, you want to submit your work and make sure a dev can review it, an editor can test your work and put some
Mhm.
content, and also maybe a designer can
The quality check.
do quality check, check the website, etc. So that's the idea. We want to go through that.
Cool, very
that
good.
path.
Do we have any
Um,
screens or not? Not today.
We shared a teaser on
Yeah.
on the screen that on the screen there. But yeah, the actual approach is let's apply and let's translate what is the current workflow, like the best in class workflow for a developer to collaborate today, meaning a simple way to iterate and to have a cycle of like coding, coding, editing, previewing. Then when I'm ready for my work, when I think I have an increment of value for the project, being able to submit that change so that it can be reviewed and then can be merged. And so we want to basically take all those concepts and translate it into Slice Machine and turning it into the best and the most enjoyable developer experience when you use a CMS basically.
And so we're committed to release a collaboration solution.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
that's good. That's good. We're just doing
yeah.
the
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
monitoring in the
Okay.
background.
Cool. We're still live. So that was one thing, collaboration. So we're opening a beta to a subset of users at the moment to test this kind of initiatives. And I can say,
So you already implemented that, the Sandbox.
yes, we're
That's
starting.
cool. Starting or implemented? Did you deploy, ship it, or
No,
not?
we didn't deploy already.
Okay, well you
It's
have
in
it there.
review.
It's in review. Very
it's
nice.
Really close.
That's quick.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Um,
I love the pace because we talked about it last week, and it's like, oh, we're going to start it, and now you're talking about it's in review. It's very cool.
So we said, okay, we shift focus toward like more core features and make sure you can accomplish your use cases. We have a series of items that we still want to continue working on, which we call quality of life, that touches more to productivity, day-to-day productivity for developers. I have one example. We quickly released the rename and delete of variation, which is one item on the list, but we know that it was like long-awaited item and feature in Slice Machine. We released that during this quarter, and we want to keep improving on that front, making sure that Slice Machine gets even better as just a productive tool to work on your website.
Like for instance, deleting slice variations when one of these quality of life.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not the only one. So we started with that, and we want to continue working on that front, and especially work on the most complex and kind of heavy task that you have to do as a developer when working with Prismic. And we want them to be just so simple so that you just have to focus on your slices and on basically the rendering of your website, like basically doing CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. And
I will tell people something is that we heavily use Prismic internally, as in not only for our website. You guys have an internal blog for announcing features to the team, and you use Prismic for that. And actually, sales team uses our product not only to demo it, but actually they create pages for our clients, landing pages personalized.
They want to do their pitch deck now in Prismic.
Yeah, they want to do their pitch in Prismic, and so we are the first annoyed by anything that is not perfect. Okay, so that's good. So you guys have not only the I won't say the pressure, but not only the feedback of our users, but also our internal team to make everything smooth.
So basically, we want to solve our own problem, like the day-to-day problems that we have with Prismic, and at the same time release this solution to everyone. And on the topic of productivity, we have two on the list that we believe that are really high and that are really preventing developers to be productive. The first is managing URLs. So not going into detail, but you know that today you have to manage a root resolver file and to maintain it and manage all different edge like exceptions or edge cases for all your routes of your website. That's a very heavy and not really high value added task. We want that to be just simplified and easy to do for all developers. So committed to do that. And the other
that's when Q1.
Wow. And another one is about querying.
I mean, maybe people don't
content.
understand exactly what is inside, but I promise you, this is big. This is a lot of time saved. If we manage URLs for you that way, a lot of time that what you're today spending on, as you said, not very high value task will be gone. Like it will be magic. Sorry?
Very error prone also.
Very error prone, something that has to be maintained and updated all the time from your side. It will be gone. So it's good. I will, I guess we'll have a meetup. We'll talk about this more in details.
In 3 months.
We'll
be able to demo this.
And the other one is about querying nested content, content in general, but especially nested content. So basically, when you use a content relationship and you want to query for your page an element that is belonging to another page,
like a blog post, and you want to get the author, for instance,
you have to build a kind of complex query and maintain it and use a specific language for that. That's graph query. And we want just to simplify that and just to say, okay, query that page, query that blog post, and it will contain the author that you need, and that's it. You don't have to worry about that.
And we'll take the responsibility of doing that for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
very cool.
That's the idea. And going a little bit further, probably not for this quarter, but for the next one, there is a huge topic which is around modeling capabilities. It's a not very fancy word, but it implies all the use cases that you have as a developer when you want to build a specific slice or a more complex slice than the others. That includes, I don't know, nestings or some tabs or a table, all the things that you cannot do as a developer when you want to build a slice. We want to attack this topic and to make sure that as a system we are capable of supporting these use cases.
More nesting. So
nesting is a use case.
A lot of people request this. Buttons.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of. The list is huge, but
I love this, and this is all you talked about URLs. Okay,
Yep.
you talked about well getting things linked, but you talked also about the nesting, buttons. I think all these cases we want to solve them in a native way because we
Exactly.
decided Prismic is about websites. Okay, websites, blogs, documentations, and that's why we can go and say this is a button.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
it. And button should look like a button instead of like 5 fields that you have to be.
5.
Well, I can make 5 fields. Well, okay, 3 fields.
Maybe 5.
The
Yeah,
label, the
maybe
call
5.
to action,
The style,
icon.
yeah. What are the three?
the tracking, the
Oh,
tracking.
the tracking.
Ah,
Well,
yes.
thank you very much for playing.
4.
4 is good.
Yeah.
I'm good with 4. But you see, like, either you see it as 4 fields in your form, which make your form very long,
Yeah.
or you see it as one thing that you're configuring. It's a button, and I want to configure it, and then you configure it, and then it's much easier for the content writers to understand what they're doing.
Yep.
Yep.
And
So
that might look today when you do modeling as nesting, but actually it's not nesting. It's just you want the button.
Exactly.
yeah.
And
Today we say nesting because some use cases we think that in order to solve these use cases you need nesting, but for some cases it's just about like sometimes
Natively
you need nesting for a button, or you need nesting for I don't know, doing tabs in a
Yeah.
slice.
For,
So
for tables.
tables. Yeah.
tables. Well, how about you?
Oh.
We support tables
Yeah.
For
instead of, like,
navigations.
bringing.
Yeah, exactly. And another
navigation.
one,
Yeah.
a very big one is, and like so something that we can make native is navigation. That's like common for every website, and yeah, and so not only about modeling capabilities, but making sure you can build just the important pieces of your websites.
Mm.
So we have the page, we have the sections, but let's go for the navigation.
So I would like to just Thomas is asking. Thank you very much for your question. Very relevant in a very right moment. He's saying, when are you allowing nesting groups? And that's what I want to answer. So basically, the way we look at nesting groups is like, why do we need
Yeah.
nesting groups? If you need tables, we'll support tables. It will be called tables. It will not be use slices, nested slices for the no. It will be called tables, and you have a feature for that. If you're nesting because you need buttons, a group of buttons, for instance, well, what do we guess? What we will call them? Buttons. You will have something native that is called button, so you don't have to waste a level of nesting for that. It will be a feature that you will have. If you need, what is it? We said tabs.
Mega menu.
Or mega menu. Well, that will be mega menu. That will be navigation type, and it will have a UI that allows you to manage and visualize mega menus, and it will be very similar to the experience of a mega menu so that you can manage it well. But if you need really another level of nesting because your section has tabs on top of it, we want to support that for this, So making the page builder looking always simple. That's what we're looking for. Like this simplicity that you saw in the beginning about the visual builder, we want to keep it that simple so that people can quickly understand what they're looking at.
And when we'll be done with like let's say the 80%, then that's the moment where we'll consider maybe having nesting. But we think we are not that far from at least like reaching the biggest use case around navigation, around buttons, around tables. Like basically all the pieces are in place now so that we can start attacking it. It's a matter of priority. As Com said it's like high on the priority of the team. It's not going to be Q1, very unlikely, but it's something that will be probably in the second quarter of the 2024.
Cool. Ben is telling you you are saying all the right things, so people appreciate what you're talking about.
Thank you, Ben. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. So that's our new focus, simple as that. And we want to hear about all of your use cases that you believe today prevent you from building a bigger website with Prismic. That's our journey, I guess, for the next year. Starting with collaboration.
So you started this by saying DevTools is what enables this experience of the visual builder. And when you talked about this, you said the workflow. We want to allow people a good workflow of working together so that they push that. But not only that, you said when we will support certain things, URLs, more nesting, we focus on bringing a great experience for marketing teams. So basically, you provide developer tools so that they shape the experience for the marketing
Exactly.
people, so we get this simple experience. You're
Yeah, because
focused on
like
that.
if you take navigation, in the end, it's the editor who will build the navigation. And it will appear on the website. So us, we are just here to make sure that in the background we can give the devs the capabilities to build the structure of that table or the foundation of that table, so that or that navigation, so that the editor in the end can have also a nice experience.
Yeah.
So it's all of this thing about modeling capability will be most likely combined work with
Page
the
builder
editor, page builder team.
The marketing tools, right?
Yes, like
We call it that way
exactly.
also.
Not
The
yet,
page
but
builder.
I think it's a good
Not
name.
yet, yeah. Okay, cool.
So yeah, most likely Q2 would be collaborative between squads.
Very
in order
nice.
to-
So
I'm
Do you have
sure Renaud,
questions?
you're very happy.
I am
And I know you. You know, we've been working together like what, for 8 years on this?
7. I think I got like my LinkedIn reminder of 7 years birthday like recently.
In Prismic, but
Yeah.
before we
before that,
also
yeah.
we worked together on Prismic. So I
Yes.
guess maybe 8, 19 years.
Yeah.
And since then, you wanted to be today.
Yes.
You wanted to have different streams, working on that pace and delivering
able
with
to
user experience.
Being able to collaborate, aligned with the overall vision of that simple tool for marketing team that is basically being created by developer. Like that's
Wasn't
I-
an
I
easy
am happy,
fight,
no.
but you're landing in that's the beginning
Yeah.
of the pace that you wanted.
exactly.
Cool, very cool.
Do you have any
Alright.
other questions?
Well, I see that Daniela is so excited, I guess, about probably the nesting. That was the last topic, and saying, finally, so excited. So I'm just, communicating that excitement. Oh, well, when you talked about the prompt to slice, I wanted just to bring one comment that we got from a client without mentioning who's the client. I'm not sure that they allowed us to talk about it, but they say, so we were showing them the prompt to slice, the slice prompter.
Yeah.
So basically, when you create your slices with the assistance of AI and say, I'm positive and surprised by AI, and you deserve a compliment for that. It says something about your company, your CMS, your vision, your goals towards the future. We don't want to get stuck in a CMS that's old in a couple of years. Real clean editor and the AI. So, like the vision, people want also not only to choose for today, but for the future, because their decision is not for 1 year. It's like for 3-4 years to come, and they want something that is evolving. And we know many things. Like the experience should evolve, and we need to get AI assistance as well. So cool to see users that are understanding that, and liking not only the current product, but also the vision and the direction that we're taking.
So I think it's a good moment also to transition maybe with Alena, and that's easy. Like Com said, like we've put in place the kind of how do you say, the groundwork for Slice Machine. We now want to attack like bigger project, more ambitious project, and Alena has been working with our team in the past 3 months, 6 months, I would say even, on a very critical item to actually be able to land more like bigger project. And so she'll talk about it. But first, because I remember, what are your plans for Christmas, Alena? That was the introduction of the.
That's the most important thing. Just.
We cannot hear you.
We don't hear you yet. You need to unmute yourself on the call as well, Alena, so that we can hear you.
Okay.
Super cool.
Good now?
Yeah.
So most important question. Christmas plans, not much except eating a lot, drinking some, maybe not too much. And I also bought a Christmas tree for the first time in my adult life. So that's exciting, although I feel guilty about it, I have to say. Feels a little wrong to have a chopped down tree in my house, but it's okay. Yes.
So what have you been doing in the past 3 months? Past quarter?
Yes. So what we've been doing is, I think the last time we talked, we had just launched the migration API in beta, and at that point it was basically the same 2 endpoints, but it was creating documents as drafts. So, and maybe to back up, what is the migration API? So up until we launched this, Prismic did not have a way to create or to update documents on a programmatic level. So that is what we set out to do here. We wanted to allow a better way to get content into Prismic, specifically for the use case of content migration. So that's kind of how this whole thing started, and we definitely. Also talking about the future and moving into the future, I think this is something that when you're looking at a product to choose, this shows you that you can open up lots of opportunities in the future in case you do need to move over, let's say, your blog from an existing CMS or another product that you've been hosting on. So really, this is about also giving you the ability to do that in Prismic quite easily. Yes.
So where are you? What did change since the last time?
So since we came with the beta, which is we are still in closed beta, but we've definitely had our beta users testing, migrating, and giving us lots of feedback, and we have now enabled the first topic, I guess, that I'd like to talk about. So the first feature that is allowing you to create documents in a release. So it's kind of a special release. It's called a migration release. So if we go to my screen, we can do a little demo. So this is a request to create a document. And this is the 11th page I'm creating, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, so I can show you later that all of this is this request and some additional documents that I've created. They're all landing in the migration release. And why is that good? So let me create first. Can I create this English landing page? And I'm going to also make another request, which is to create a French version of that English landing page. So you get an idea that we can also localize content and create localized versions with the migration API as well. Something new that also happened this quarter. Then if we change to Prismic, you can see that we've introduced this new menu item that's called Migration Release. This is only visible right now to our beta users, but soon to be visible to a larger audience. And you can see a lot of pages that were, or a lot of documents that were created. I will refresh so you see the ones that I just created as well. So there's the English version, and we've got the French version there as well. And we can now preview and we can publish these all at once. So, and if you, for instance, decided, actually, I don't want this page to be in my release, I can archive it, or I can even publish this one now and do something else later. So you have that option as well, but I'm gonna, for the sake of this, I'm gonna publish. Now you can see up the top here, it's telling me that I can have a maximum of 1,000 documents. That means that in the past, with the tool that we have, the import-export tool, you've only been able to publish 200 documents at a time, not 2,000. And now you can actually release up to 1,000 documents at once. I did not show you that because it would take a little bit more time than it just took right now. But as you can see, I've published and I've got my documents now published and ready to go.
And so
then, yeah, go ahead.
Is the plan to increase still the number of documents that you can get in there?
That is one of our plans for Q1, yes. So in Q1 we hope to increase that limit, so we can publish even more documents at once, because also as we've been watching kind of these active migrations in the beta, we've seen really large numbers of documents being added per hour per day. So 5,000-6,000 a day sometimes, and of course we want to make it as easy as possible to get those into Prismic and get them live.
So I have a question, Elena. I know that you care a lot about, when we went into shaping the agency squad, can we call it that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were very careful about prioritizing depending on the feedback that you get from the users, and then you
Yes.
prioritized this API. Why? What are the scenarios? Why do agencies use this API? What are the scenarios?
Yeah, so I would say the number one scenario that what we designed this for is really, I have a client, they came to me, they have a previous CMS or blog site that they've been using, and now they want to move to Prismic. They want to be able to be more flexible with editing, but they also want all that content to be moved over to make sure that they capitalize on the SEO power of that content. And so it's about making sure that for agencies, it's clear they can move large amounts of content for their client into Prismic, and they have a programmatic way of doing that. So I think that's the first big use case, and then the second use case that we hear a lot about as well is it's not always just a one-time thing. I move some content, it's there, I don't ever need to move more content, but it's also bulk updates that we see being necessary quite a bit. I make a change on a slice and I want to update all my content around that new slice. So this is going to really enable them to do that, and it's just another level of also flexibility, I think, for clients and also for agencies that are working for their clients.
Yeah, and I see the use case where like you have a website, at some point you maybe built it with something that was good at the moment, but you want more flexibility. And you say, yeah, but and often people start from scratch with the framework. They build like with Next or React or whatever it is. But what about all that SEO that they have? And they want to migrate all of that. And I understand that an API and a migrate. And before we would tell them use the import export, except that it's a bit manual and they want something more pragmatic, right? Sorry, more programmatic. Yeah.
And pragmatic too.
And pragmatic as well. We can say that.
Yes, indeed.
Cool.
So sorry, we stopped. We paused the demo. So like you were demonstrating the publication, saying that we would increase. We have the plan to increase the overall capacity of the migration API, or at least like the release to be able to publish more than 1,000 documents.
Yes, indeed.
What's next?
What's next?
What did we do also, and what's next, by the way, on top of it?
Okay, so I'll do one more quick thing, and that is to show you how we can really quickly pull content from existing documents and use it to make updates. So I'm looking at this particular landing page that I think is better than the one I just created. And it's got this really cool logo slice on it. So I'm going to basically update one of my existing pages, which is kind of not so exciting. It just has one hero slice. I'm going to update it to include that additional content. So I'm going here to show you that you can use the API browser that we have on Prismic, but of course you can also use. So what I'm gonna show you here is basically just getting content as you get it from our document API. So meaning in JSON format, it's the way that you're used to. You're used to manipulating content from Prismic on your website anyway. But basically, we designed the API, the migration API, to work with this content. So this is gonna give you a format that you can just like copy, paste, and make a post request or make a put request and make some updates to your content. And let me just find the right place to start copying, and I will do that. Sorry. Here we go. Okay.
So again, you copied content from your API while you are typing. I'm re-explaining, but
Yeah.
you copied content from your API. So basically, the content delivery API, the API that you use to get the content in your website, and like you are putting it into your post request so that you can reuse the exact same structure and the exact same content if you want to update.
Exactly. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make a change on the UID because we cannot have two documents with the same UID. And I'm going to update my empty sad landing page and make it nicer. So I'll just call it nicer landing page. And this is a put request, so I'm going to basically all right. And now you can see I updated that, and I'm going to go back here and I'm going to reload it. And you can see.
And you can
it's
see that
got the same content.
Nice. You've updated basically the document here thanks to that API, and programmatically you inputted new content in there.
Exactly. And it's also a really easy way to get started with using the API. So that's because you don't need to worry about how do I formulate that particular field. You can just copy paste and start playing around. So that's something that I think is quite valuable here as well.
Awesome.
And what's next? So what's next? Q1, we're continuing to work on additional enhancements for the API. We want to also give you an easier way to convert existing content to Prismic rich text if you've got HTML or Markdown content. That's been a bit of a pain point in the past as well. And we are also, because we're the agency squad and we are focused on agency needs as well, we're going to start getting a little bit more into some topics around reusability. And I guess if you're an agency, you're creating a lot of projects with Prismic, there are probably elements, slices, various elements that you would want to reuse in your next project or modify a bit, but use the basic framework of. So that's something that we're looking into. We're going to be doing some research, some design on in Q1 as well.
Super. So collaboration probably with Com on Size Machine and a bit on the page builder, and so the goal for the API is, because we didn't say it explicitly, I guess the goal for the API is actually to get it public and for everyone by Q1, right?
Yes.
Man, this Q1, how many things go into Q1?
Like we all take a quarter of holiday in Q2. like we go. No, but yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's going to be cool. There is a team that is actually not being represented here. That is a team called Platform that is actually supporting all the initiatives across the teams that we just saw here, and that are doing a huge job in order to be able to support all those items and enable us in order to be able to deliver all those things in Q1. Thank you. Anything else?
Just that pretty soon you will be able to try out your first calls with the demo key in the API, and that's coming in the next few weeks. So
let me
look out for that.
let me tell agencies or companies that have that are working on a new website, or like refreshing the website or recreating a new foundation for the website, but you still have a lot of content from on the old website and you want to migrate it. Guess what? We have an API. Request is not publicly accessible yet, but request a token, then you will be able to, and we will help you through the process.
Exactly.
And how does your Christmas tree look? Is it like still empty and sad, or did you work on it?
It's quite small, and my
You
son
mean it's the
put
USB, the USB one?
no,
or
it's like no, it's like almost a meter, so but
Okay,
it's
very good.
small in comparison to, I guess, my childhood Christmas trees.
But maybe also you were short, right?
True. Yeah, but it's kind of sad. It's only like my son put the lights on, so it's like half without lights and half with lights.
Well, you will help out.
Right, it's the same. Like the year when I had one, it was like half with light and half without, because the bottom, like my cat just like threw everything and got everything on the bottom, so it was like
Yeah.
only at the top you got stuff, and
You have a wild cat,
Yeah.
I hear.
cool one. Thanks a lot, Elena. I think we covered most of the things that we wanted to discuss.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of the stream, you Sadek, you said hours, like without realizing it, like we are
said
going to
that.
discuss for the next hours, and I was like, ouch, next hours, and actually it turned out to be almost next hours.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the people that
yeah,
continue to be around for this long version. Anyway, what I like also is that Nuha and Pierre-Yves, the team behind, also like they make shorter videos of some interesting parts of that, and they also push it so that we make this more accessible, so they don't have to watch the full version of it. Some of these we already send them in the email, so if you look at the mailing list, there are some reminders of the most important parts of the updates.
Yep.
And if you need something smaller, also the other meetups, then not the last one in the quarter, but the other meetups are like more focused.
exactly. And no, I think we covered most of the things. Thank you, Elena and Com, was super cool and super complete. I don't
you.
know if there is a last remaining questions on the chat. If
No,
not,
I guess we're good. To sum up, we worked a lot on the concepts, like we talked about slice machine, the visual page builder. Now it's time that we're working on the basics, on the foundation, not the foundation, but the how you call them, the basic stuff. The meat library, the search, and the experience, and all of that, and that most of that will be delivered in Q1.
Yep.
The API, and then we'll continue improving that experience, right?
exactly. And so, but the year, I'm personally very excited about the year to come. Honestly, like I think it's going to be a great year in terms of product enhancement and all. Like the pace and the stage at which we are at the moment is super encouraging. And so, yeah, looking forward for 2024. Personally, so I don't know.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah. Q1 especially.
Just Q1.
Just Q1.
Already Q1. It's good.
And the break after Q1.
The cooldown.
All right.
I think that's it then.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks everyone that helped also. Nuha and Pierre-Yves for preparing all of that.
Yeah.
Was a good meetup, and see you for the next one.
Enjoy holidays. Enjoy Christmas.
Holidays. I'll enjoy the snowboarding myself.
Enjoy the snowboarding. And yeah, see you in January.
See you in January.
See you.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.